Hi lovelies and welcome in my kitchen. Today we are talking about a topic that is not only very dear to my heart, but has also evolved into an everyday lifestyle and a YouTube channel for me. Kitchen witchery. In this video we will be discussing what a kitchen witch does and what kitchen witchcraft is. We will look into ways to perform kitchen witchery and what you need to practice it. And throughout the video I have some very handy hacks for beginners of kitchen witchery as well as the seasoned kitchen witches amongst us. I also have an exciting announcement for all my fellow cottage and kitchen witches towards the end of the video, but more on that later. Kitchen witchery is an absolute amazing, versatile and easy form to bring magic into your daily life. It is typically a very warm, communal, nurturing and down-to-earth way to practice magic. And it is a fantastic path to try if you're broom closeted and need to keep your craft secret or outwardly invisible to others. After all, we all need to eat, right? So, what is a kitchen witch and what does kitchen witchery entail? And how do you know if you are a kitchen witch? As the term already implies, a kitchen witch is someone that practices their witchcraft in the kitchen and weaves their magic into the food they prepare. The main forms of magic used in kitchen witchcraft are energetic magic, symbol, rune and sigil magic, folk magic, intentional cooking, and magical as well as medicinal herbalism. We will hear more about each of those in just a bit. Kitchen witchery defines every kind of magical working that combines some sort of cooking, baking, or culinary mixing and witchcraft in one shape or another. You could even stretch the definition as far as to include magical crafting or work that is done in the kitchen to that as well. For example, soap making, candle making, magical DIY cleaner mixing, and so on. It mainly focuses on nurturing, welcoming, protecting, loving, and healing goals and intents. But as with almost any kind of magic, kitchen witch spells can be used for pretty much any kind of outcome. A lot of times topics surrounding interpersonal relationships like love, friendship and communication, physical health or healing, and mental health or healing like anti-anxiety, depression or sleeping spells are targeted when working magic into food. So how do you know if kitchen witchery is the right path for you? Kitchen witchcraft is something that is beautifully and easily combined with everyday life and many other paths within the big umbrella term of witchcraft. It goes fantastic with hearth or cottage witchcraft if you're a natural homemaker, and can also be enriched by combining it with green witchcraft and your homegrown or wild foraged herbs. Now, it would obviously help if you enjoyed baking and cooking. For me, this has been a passion for as long as I can think. From making cakes in the sandbox to cooking for my family and friends at any opportunity that would present itself. So for me it was only logical that this big part of my life has to be worked with magic too. But it is absolutely possible to become a kitchen witch if you don't have much experience with baking or cooking yet. After all, we are all built to learn and evolve our skills. So if the path sounds interesting to you, get in the kitchen and start with something easy. You'll find beginner-friendly recipes and inspiration in the recipe playlist linked above and below. It also doesn't matter what kind of diet you follow. Kitchen witchery can be done regardless of any dietary preferences or restrictions, and can be made to fit your personal needs. Now, how is kitchen witchery practiced? There are many different techniques that can be used, and today I want to introduce the most important ones to you. Please remember that everyone practices slightly different in their own path, and this is neither an absolute nor a complete list. Energetic working. This means that we infuse food with energy and intention. This can be done through meditating on or visualizing of a certain outcome, feeling, emotion or goal that will then be worked into the food. Common ways to do so is to stir it in with a wooden spoon, knead it into dough, or simply mindfully blessing a meal. Every ingredient also comes with its own energies, and those stem from various components. How it has been grown or made, what impact it has on the environment, its magical and medicinal energies, if or how it has been treated or transported, its journey onto your plate, and if it holds personal significance and meaning for you personally. It is always good to be mindful of these things, and if you wish to do so, pick ingredients accordingly. Think of buying locally, growing or foraging your ingredients, cooking seasonally, reducing your carbon footprint, get ethically produced meat, eat fresh and organic, and so forth. This is, however, in no way necessary. It is just an additional choice. I personally believe that the more effort we put into a spell, the longer we can work our intention and the better it's going to work. So I love to go old school when cooking and for the most part don't use modern kitchen appliances and machines. I feel that the more energy I put into it, the more energy I can draw out of it later. However, this is only a personal preference, and of course it is totally fine to go modern and make use of equipment available to us. Just do what feels right to you. Symbols, rune or sigil magic. Another very common way to work magic in the kitchen is to make use of sigil magic, to work with symbols or practice rune magic. This can be done by simply drawing them into pie crusts, carving them into bread, stirring them into sauces or your morning coffee, or arrange pie toppings in a meaningful way. My personal little kitchen witch hack here is to have different cooking spoons with your personal sigils for different goals burned or carved into them. That way you can always pick a suited kitchen witch wand to work a specific intention into your food. Like this handy hack? Then give the video a thumbs up. By the way, being from a traditional Catholic place like Bavaria, I still grew up with the custom of drawing a cross on a bread loaf and blessing it before cutting into it, showing gratitude and wishing for bread for the poor and hungry. Which in itself is a form of symbol magic too. Magical herbalism. A quick way to work everyday witchcraft with magical herbalism is to infuse your morning coffee with some magic ingredients. You could add cinnamon for energy, luck, love, success and healing, nutmeg for prosperity, luck and attraction, vanilla for mental powers, love, happiness and personal empowerment, or cardamom for relaxation, a clear mind, eloquence or lust. Stir it in with intention and your day will be a great one. If you have a hard time remembering all the different correspondences, you could simply put a little cheat sheet in your spice cabinet to look it up at the spot without having to Google or get your book of shadows. Additionally, as a very general guideline, most citrus fruit have a cleansing and uplifting energy. Most exotic or warm spices are great for success, love and lust. Hot spices are great for energy and sexuality, and salt in all its forms offers protection. Medicinal herbalism. Of course, the herb, spices and ingredients used not only come with magical properties, they also come with medicinal benefits for body and mind. So especially if you're working spells around health and healing, it is definitely worth looking into those and learning more about the ingredients you cook with. Practicing kitchen witchcraft also offers the amazing opportunity to start growing your own herbs, which can be done even in a tiny apartment, or start with your own produce if you have more space or a garden. The benefit of this is that you know exactly how your ingredients came to be, the love, effort and time you invested into them, and the quality. And of course, you won't only always have fresh herbs, in the long run it is cheaper too. If you are interested in starting your own herb garden, check out the video linked above. Remember that if a kitchen witch spell or a recipe contains some magical ingredients that you don't like, by all means, leave it out or replace it with something with similar properties. Food should be enjoyed, and it is important that this stays your main focus while cooking and working kitchen witch magic. Mindful working and cooking. You can prepare for working magic as much or as little as you like. Some people like to sit for a second and prepare mentally, maybe ground themselves. Some will cleanse the space and themselves, and others just straight jump into it. it is important to choose the method of working that resonates with you and your needs. You don't necessarily need an altar to work on, but make the kitchen a space where you feel comfy and at ease to calmly work your magic. It might also help if it was clean and somewhat organized. Every act of cooking and even the preparation can be infused with magic and carry energetical significance. Washing your hands could be used to cleanse negative energy from you before starting your magical workings. Washing the ingredients you use can be infused with the intention for the magical dish to wash away anything undesirable. When gently kneading dough with your hands, put some love and affection into it. When sifting flour, shake in the lightheartedness you would want this dish to bring to the ones that consume it. When chopping fruit or vegetable, you can intentionally cut out negative energies. While holding your hands over the food, use blessings for abundance and prosperity spells. Or use them as offerings, saying grace to Mother Earth or who or whatever you feel deserves thanks for this. With every task performed, you can add additional energy. Magical tools. So, let's look into the things and tools that you need to work kitchen witchery. As kitchen witchery is a very free and not very fixed or even ceremonial practice, you basically need nada. It is handy to have mortar and pestle to grind spices, make infused herbal sugars or herbal blends, but if you don't have that, you can also use an electric coffee grinder, a mixer or a plastic bag and a hammer or any other heavy object you have. A lot of kitchen witches love to use their cooking spoons as wands to direct their energy into the food. Of course, you can go all fancy and have a selection of wooden spoons adorned with different sigils for different purposes that you pick depending on your spell. But it is also fine to just use a regular old spoon or whisk. By the way, a lot of people like to stir with a clock to manifest and against the clock to banish. I will sometimes stick to that, but usually just do what feels right on the spot. Or how tired my arms feel after whipping cream for 10 minutes straight. A cauldron is definitely a great tool to have for every witch for spells that require some time or fire magic. But for cooking, you might prefer a more useful modern substitute for a cauldron, like a pot or a pan. Presto, there is your magical cauldron. As mentioned before, knives can be used in intentional cooking for cutting cord spells to cut negative energies out or anything else that carries a similar symbolism. Some kitchen witches like to have a specific set. I just use whatever butter knife and it works just as well. Herbs and ingredients. Most herbs and spices can be found in your supermarket, others on local spice markets or spice stores. But if you don't want to or cannot afford to spend much money, it is also worth to look into wild foraging for your area. You might not always find exactly the herb or spice a recipe or spell requires, but you will learn what local substitutes you have available. This also really tunes you in with the seasons and the natural world around you, and it is truly a beautiful gift if you are able to sustain yourself from Mother Nature's direct offerings. If you want some pointers on that, check out my video on wild foraging like a green witch. Of course, you will also need recipes to cook. Here on my channel, you will find many of my personal magical creations and favorites. But you can also design your own. You can pick ingredients according to the goal, but if you're pressed for time or just want to do something simple, it is completely fine to work with other techniques, as sigil magic or energy. I highly recommend keeping a kitchen witch grimoire, where you jot down your favorite recipes, maybe have a little index about the magical and medicinal benefits of certain ingredients, and also a section of your personal sigils that you like to incorporate into your cooking. You can also write down blessings, ideas or outcomes in it. This would also be a great place to keep special recipes for the Wiccan Sabbats. A ring binder typically is a great choice, so you can easily add on to each chapter. But if you prefer a magical little book, that works too. Now, if you are a kitchen witch too, please say hi in the comments down below. I love to chat about my favorite form of magic. Also, if you know of any other kitchen witch channels, I would love if you could share them here for me and the other viewers to find. Now, these were all my tidbits on kitchen witchery. I hope you enjoyed them, and now, as promised, I had a special announcement, and with that, a fun opportunity to practice your kitchen witch skills with me. Sunday the 11th of October 2020, I will be doing a live cooking stream here on my channel. The time will be 5 p.m. Central European Summertime. So, for most of you in other time zones, that will be just before lunchtime. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification button if you don't want to miss it. Let's gather in my kitchen and we will cook a magical meal together that is totally easy to tweak on the spot for the common dietary preferences like vegetarian, vegan, lactose or gluten-free cooking. The ingredients you will need will be listed underneath this video as well as over on my Instagram and Patreon. Let's chat about magic and witchcraft, cook a delicious meal, sip some wine, and have a great time with kitchen witches from all over the world. I am so excited to meet you there. See you soon!